Hello everybody, it's Shakes. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to increase your FPS in Rainbow Six Siege. Now Siege came out for nearly 5 years ago, but it's still one of the best looking online FPS games you can play, so obviously it's not going to run all that great for absolutely everyone. So yeah, in this video I'm just going to kind of go over some tips that are very easy to do. You can do them in 1 or 2 clicks and it'll automatically improve your FPS, and some of them that are going to include downloading a third-party program just so you can get extra optimization out of your game. So you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do, and yeah, do whatever you're comfortable with to get as much FPS as possible for Rainbow Six. But if you have a terrible computer, then I definitely recommend just doing everything that I show you in this video, just so you have as much FPS as possible to make the experience as enjoyable as possible. So anyway, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the download link in the description. It's going to be razer.com/cortex/boost, and click this nice little green download button. It should download pretty quickly. You can open this up and you can close out your browser, and it should install pretty fast. Once it's opened up, just make sure you have Razer Cortex checked and not Razer Synapse. You don't really need this unless you already have Razer things and you want them lighting up in a nice cool way. We don't really need that, so we're just going to go into the install button, and then it should download and install pretty quick. It does download way faster than things usually download on my PC, so it is pretty optimized. I hope it will be optimized for you guys too, and yeah, it should install pretty fast. And once it has finally downloaded, you're going to get a nice little congratulations, nice job, you downloaded a software. And what you're going to want to do is make sure this is checked and then click get started. Once this tab is opened up, you can ignore these 2 main buttons and you can go to the one tucked right below, and it's going to be continue as guest, because we don't really want to sign into Razer. Why would we give them our information? Once again, click continue as guest, and then you can close this out, and you're going to see all the games you can run with Razer Cortex. It's going to be able to boost any of these games that come up. It's going to just kind of auto-scan your PC to see all the games you have. But anyway, for the sake of this video and for the sake of the title of the video, we're going to go to Rainbow Six Siege, and then you're just going to click this play button. And as you can see in the bottom left, or bottom right, I'm a moron, sorry, it's going to say, you're going to see how much RAM is being optimized, so that's going to be really good if you don't have that much RAM in your PC, and it's just going to optimize the game so it runs a little bit better. Now right now it should open up as normal, and then we're going to get to the next part of the video. So now that we have Siege opened up, we can try it out, and it's going to run a little bit better. But if you want to have even more frames, the next thing you're going to want to do is Alt-Tab out of the game, then go into your task manager. From your task manager, just go into Rainbow Six Siege, right click it, then click expand, then find the Rainbow Six little thing right here, right click that, and then go to open file. Nope. Just right click it and then go to details. Then once you find Rainbow Six from your details, just right click it, then click set priority, then hit high, and then change priority. So what this does is it's going to make Rainbow Six a high priority on your PC, so it's going to make the background process a little bit weaker, just to make sure Rainbow Six gets as much processing power as it needs, because a lot of times background applications often sap a lot of the strength from your game. So if you do this, then it's going to kind of put those to the side to make sure you get as much FPS as possible in Rainbow Six. So you can close out of that, and Rainbow Six is going to run even faster, but if you still want more FPS, I have a few more tricks up my sleeve. So what you're going to do is just go to these little gears up top, then go to options, then go to graphics, and make sure all of these is all the way down to low. Once it's here, just make sure all of these are as low as possible. In fact, we can mess with render scaling in TAA sharpness a little bit later if it still doesn't work. But what I recommend is, in the middle of doing these massive changes, is actually to just jump into a match and see if it runs well enough, because a lot of these will be enough to even get a bad computer to run good enough. However, if it still doesn't run as nicely as you'd like, then you're obviously going to want to just turn everything as low as possible, so your render scaling all the way down and your TAA sharpness all the way down, and that should be, it's going to make your computer pretty fast, but the game look pretty ugly. Anyway though, once you've configured your options exactly how you like them, to make sure that you have enough FPS but you don't make the game look too bad, or if you have a pretty bad computer, maybe you want to put everything down. It's your choice, obviously. So once you've done all of that and you've tinkered it however you wanted to, just go to display, and then you're going to want to maybe change your resolution. Lowering your resolution is going to have one of the biggest effects on your FPS, because obviously having less pixels the game has to render will obviously make it considerably easier to run. I highly recommend that you guys just jump into a game, or do this in the middle of like an unranked match or something, and just test out which options actually make your game runnable, because you can't just do all this in one go and jump in and see, it works. You're going to want to configure it as you go, just to make sure you're not making your game look terrible for just a few extra FPS. Kind of configure it so the game doesn't look terrible, but you still do get pretty good FPS. So once you've tinkered with your resolution, you're going to want to go to your display mode and then change this to full screen. Now a lot of people don't know exactly why you'd want to put it to full screen, but you want to have it on full screen, because if it's just windowed, then your computer is just going to really treat it as just another window, and it's not going to have as much processing as having it as a full screen application, which automatically just devotes more of your computer's power into the game. And I just realized all of this is explained on the right here, so you could just read that if you really care. But anyway, if you want to have the max FPS, full screen is the way to go. Make sure your refresh rate actually matches your monitor's refresh rate, or else it can cause problems. Make sure VSync is off and widescreen letterbox is off. And as for your field of view, you're going to want to make it 60 because obviously the less things that are on your screen, the easier it is for your game to run. And again, it is on the right, so my explaining is entirely pointless. Anyway though, once you are happy with your settings, then you can just click the apply thing over here. It's going to kind of mess around with your screen a little bit, and then we're going to resume into the game. And as you can see, my cursor is a little bit larger. That's just because I turned down the resolution, and if you do that, you're going to have the same effect. And if you've done everything that I've showed you in this video, you're definitely going to have enough FPS to play the game well. It is not the most hard game to run. It is pretty well optimized for how nice the game looks, because it obviously does look pretty nice. But yeah, that's pretty much how you're going to want to do that if you want to have as much FPS as possible in Rainbow Six Siege. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Subscribe if you want to, like if you want to, or if you don't want to. I don't really discriminate. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next video.